Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be breaking down the first map, the hard point, and this is a good one because I actually haven't watched it. I wasn't watching yesterday, so it'll be really interesting to see kind of how the teams played out. And yeah, let's just kind of break it down together, see anything we can learn from the gameplay and about the CDL team. Let's get right into it. So starting off in terms of the size of the map here, I think FaZe are actually on the good side because, I mean, I'm just trying to think. Okay, so on the break, the biggest thing, the key thing we're looking for is map control, okay? We're at a point where, on this map specifically, you guys have probably seen so many different comebacks. The reason why is because you can chain a couple of hills on this map. You see the side phases on now? If you get map control, if you get that first wave of kills, you've honestly got P1, P2, P3 and P4. So this is one of those maps where you can easily chain like 100 points together. And yeah, so you got to be really careful here. Let's just take a look at minimap and kind of see how the teams are breaking off. So I like where Hydra's sitting in terms of kind of watching that overextension. It looks like FaZe are sending 4 through the left. So this is a bit of a gamble from New York to send Hydra kind of all the way on the island. And right now you're going to see Sib watching over the flank, and then Kismet and Sky's basically on the hill. So let's see how the opening fights go off. I kind of feel like Abeezy's going a little bit rogue here. Like off the break, this is something that I notice a lot. Abeezy's pacing, like, don't get me wrong, this guy is a absolutely insane SMG. Probably, like, for me to watch, one of my favorites, just because I feel like I learned so much from his playstyle. But something like this is just something I see a lot in his gameplay, and it's just that kind of rogueness of going forward. Again, I don't know, you know. Oh, I can't even rewind it that slowly. It's hard to go through. I'm just gonna kind of skip it a little bit. But yeah, like even just what he did there going forward by himself, he ends up dying, and then Simp gets traded as well, and now Draza and Celium are by themselves, right? The problem is if you lose those first 2 kills, it happens all the time in rank play. The player now like Draza, honestly, he can't really do anything. He just has to play for a kill. And what you're doing now is you're just on the back foot, and Hydra makes an excellent play. He basically pinches kind of after watching the island and goes through. So now they've got the opening bloods. Again, I don't know what happens in this map, by the way. I actually haven't watched this. I know New York win the map, but I don't know the score or anything. So I'm just going to break it down and give my live thoughts. Right now, FaZe are on the back foot. So what you want to do in this scenario, honestly, is go for some kills here. You want to get some kills and get some map control, because this is not looking good on the first 20 seconds. You're doing a really good job kind of blocking the lanes. I like the play from Celium here. Again, just trying to get that kill. Simp goes in, gets 1. The trades are going through. Hydra gets 2. And again, it's just about being effective on the trades here. And I think Hydra, man, look at that guy. He just gets a 3-piece. And it's those bailout plays right there. Like Hydra getting a 3 is so underrated, because it's not just about the kills. Look at the map pressure now. So what we're seeing now is number 3 Simp. He's going to be spawning at the back. I'm actually going to open up TAC maps on my other screen, just so we can kind of look together at the spawns, because I think spawns is one of those things that it's kind of obvious when you're watching it, but it's really important to kind of know the spawn. So let's take a look at the right screen and let's look at the spawns together for this P1. So when we go through what map we're on 6 star. So on the spawns on this map, okay, wrong map. This is a great start. Let's go to Vista. Vista, there you go. So on this specific map, right, on P1, what spawns you're going to get is around there. And then the other ones you're going to get is around there, okay? These are kind of the primary main spawns, and you're seeing it right now. FaZe are spawning here. So if we're in New York right now, we are trying to isolate FaZe to be as far away as possible. We are trying to keep them out of the action, because you can actually hold P2 from this side as well. Let's say New York or blue in this case. You can hold P2 like this as well. It's just one of those where you probably prefer to hold it from the left side, but you can easily hold P2 from this side as well. It's just, again, one of those where it just depends on the map control. But right now, if you're New York, you're really trying to just keep FaZe trapped in that box. Let's see how they play it out. They go through. You see Hydra, again, knowing the spawns is trying to cut them up. Now, one thing I would have liked to see from Hydra here is, instead of just running at them, oh my god, that looks so weird. Instead of just running at them there, I would have liked to see him. Okay, so the reason this is taking so long is because I've got the whole video downloaded, the whole VOD. It's an hour and 40 minutes long, so even if I'm moving the bar a little bit, it moves kind of different, so I'll fix that for next time. But right now, look at Hydra. He knows that they're spawning here. This is something I speak about in my videos, okay? If you're Hydra in this instance, by the way, I'm not telling Hydra how to play. That guy will shit on me without aim assist. Like, that guy will actually fry me without aim assist on off host. That guy is disgusting. But right now, he knows FaZe is spawning here, okay? So FaZe is going through. I just think he has to be a little bit patient here and guarantee 1. So either play prone or just be a bit more ready for the gunfight. You see, as he's going around the corner, I don't like how he's sprinting. I feel like right now, you see he's getting caught in the sprint, especially on a streak as well. I think he just played that a little bit wrong. You see Draza, Simp kind of ready, or Simp and Abeezy are ready for the gunfight. He goes through and gets killed. And now if we look at the mini map, okay, Hydra's going to spawn all the way back here now. And again, it just makes his team have a little bit less pressure on the map. And now you see Sib dies as well, and FaZe are just doing a good job of getting out. Kismet gets one, he turns around immediately, watches the left, really good play from Kismet to pick that up. Skies goes through. So Skies and Kismet did a good job there of kind of slowing down the play. But again, you just don't want to lose those careless lives, because if you're dying in those careless positions, you're giving FaZe a chance, and that's exactly what happens. What they really wanted to do there in an ideal situation was just keep FaZe trapped. Like, if they could keep FaZe trapped kind of like in this quadrant here, they would have had set up for P2 as well, right? They could have had a really big lead. But because they end up dying there, they end up losing map control, they just let FaZe push out. And this is where things can get scary. Because if FaZe get you in this trap, where you have no map control, right? You're pushing through, and they have a setup like this, honestly, this is where it gets really scary. Because they could easily get literally the next P2, P3 and P4 all together. So right now, if you're New York, you have to be very careful, and you have to escape this little trap here. You see FaZe is setting up, they're getting mid-map control. Let's take our arrow to number 2. Number 2 is going to be a BZ. This next kill is going to be crucial, whoever wins it. Kismet and a BZ. Kismet wins it. Really crucial stuff. And this is what I always talk about as well. Sometimes on the kill feed, you don't see the value of the kill. That kill was so important because it just allowed them to get map control. So although it only counts as 1 kill on the kill feed, that's such an important kill. And now we have another one. We actually have number 1 Drazers kind of sitting through middle. This is a good kind of angle to look at, because I like the way number 5 as well is making a play. This is something Hydra's done really well this map so far. He's taken those long routes, he's played those flanks, and he's really trying to just do the dirty work while also getting the kills. So he's just a phenomenal player, and this gameplay is showing it right now. So right now, you can see Hydra's trying to make a play in the pinch. You got number 7 though. 7v4 is everything. Okay, let's see what happens. He goes through. He's distracted by middle. As he goes through, he slides across. Hopefully he wins this. Okay, so right there, if you're in New York, you're very happy with Kismet there. That is 2 crucial kills. So, I mean, really good stuff from New York there. They go through, they take out Draza middle as well. If I'm looking at the minimap right now, okay, so Kismet got that kill. He now knows that they are going to be spawning around this little circle, like we kind of highlighted earlier. So he's going to be playing around this side and letting Skies watch over him. So you're seeing that's exactly what he's doing. He's playing this side, he's holding the angle, Skies is watching the top, again, using that teamwork. So right now, the comms are probably saying, okay, Skies is like, look, I've got your top window, you kind of watch the stairs, right? And at the same time, number 5 and number 8 have middle. So if we take a look at the right side, I'm really liking this setup. So I still think that the red side have the advantage in terms of, if I want an optimal setup, I'd probably want to be on the left, because you're spawning, you get the spawns for P3 as well. But if I am the blue team and I am getting any sort of setup, this is probably how I want it to be. Right now we can see you got somebody there, which was, I believe, was Hydra. You got Sib watching like the cut there. You've got Skies basically watching the window, and then you have Kismet on the hill. I think this is a really good setup. The only thing that you have kind of open, which is still something to be worried about, is these stairs here. If number 2 decides to go around and make a play, he could easily kind of disrupt their flow. So what I'm expecting from New York right now, they're going to play this angle at the start. They're going to work together to maybe get 1 kill over here, because this is quite a popular spot. If they get 1 kill, I'm expecting one of them to turn around and watch the cut. That's what I'm expecting. At the same time, I'm really happy with New York's setup with Kismet and Skies. I think that works perfectly. Let's see kind of what happens. So one thing I think FaZe do really well, to be honest, is they take their long routes. Even like now with 45 seconds left, they do a really good job of taking those routes. But you see they go through, Hydra wins that gunfight, and you can see what I'm talking about in terms of they're going to kind of change their positions now. They go through again, and this is where I think, I don't know what happened there with Hydra. I think Hydra and Sib should have played together. I don't think Sib needed to leave Hydra there, and maybe they could have played together, but again, not the end of the world. They go through, and now you can see again, look at the numbers. This is what FaZe just do so well. So off the break right now, Hydra is watching middle. Sib kind of left him. Again, I think he should have stayed with him. Hydra gets aggressive, and that's where the disconnect can cause some issues. Because now a BZ gets a kill, I want you to notice what they do. Immediately, they don't push through middle, they regroup together, because they now know they have the numbers. So now they're 4v3, okay? They go through, let's see how they break this. So right now they have about 5 seconds until Hydra gets back into the action. A BZ goes in by himself, they get 1, and I just think they play that a little bit impatient again. A BZ gets the kill middle, and then he's the first one to the right. It was just a bit of a pacing issue there, and New York win more of the team fights. Sib goes through middle, but you're seeing the same thing. Now, what I'm expecting is number 8, Sib, with 24 seconds left. Again, thinking of the bigger picture, I'm really going to expect him to start rotating here. He gets that early rotation. You see the whole of FaZe team is going through. Number 2, Abizi's identifying that, and he's going to make a pinch as well. So right now, what you're going to have is 2 different gunfights. You're going to have one gunfight on the hill, and you're gonna have one gunfight on the rotation. It just depends who wins what happens to the next hill. So Kismet, really good job sneaking by here. So far this game, he's been kind of my player of the game so far. I know Hydra's got a lot of kills, but Kismet, the kills he's got has been so important so far. Hydra as well has been really impactful, but right now the sub's doing a really good job from New York. They're going through, and you can see just like that they flipped it. So I have to say, like, in terms of the break, this has been really good work from New York. They've got the break, they've got the next rotation, and if they can stay here, they should be really good to win the game here. They get, you know, good P3, P4 break, they're good to go. Hydra playing his angles, they go through. Although FaZe are on the hill, Hydra's in such a good spot here to cause some issues. He ends up getting taken out here, and this is just a really good break from FaZe. I thought New York had the advantage there, but an excellent break from FaZe. Let's kind of see how they play this out now. So if we take a look at the setup, you got number 3 on the hill, which is Simp. You got 1 Draza watching the stairs. You got 2 Abizi watching the middle. So right now they're going to try to funnel New York through a certain angle. Abizi taking his timings really well, holds this angle. I love this spot from Abizi. The reason why it's so good is because he's catching the opponents in the sprint. This is something I talk about all the time. You want to be catching those opponents while they're sprinting, right? So right now you see the wave goes through. Look what Abizi does. So he pushes through. He wants to maintain map pressure. And at this point, okay, if you're New York, you have to be sprinting to get to the hill, right? So look at this. He catches Kismet kind of slipping there. He does miss a few shots there. It's a little bit hard to kill him. But even just him shooting Kismet there, slowing him down, is going to make the push for New York so much harder. They go through, Simp holding the angles. I don't know how FaZe kind of collapsed there. I think, honestly, they did a really bad job. They actually started off holding that really well, and then they just collapsed there. So this is just a battle of 2 really good teams right now going head to head. And I have to say, New York just really impressing me. I thought FaZe did a good job there, but New York did an even better job breaking it. But FaZe still have the spawns. Now, the only thing you could say is a positive for New York in this scenario, although FaZe have the spawns, what you're seeing now is FaZe are in this scenario, okay? Where is it? So they're going to P4. So the positives for FaZe is, yes, they've got the rotation, okay? But the negative is, for P4, you want to have a bit more map control. What you're seeing now is FaZe like this. This, in terms of map control, is nothing, okay? So New York are going to hopefully take their time, set up a pinch here, and kind of work together to break the hill, right? That's what you want to see from New York. You want to see them work together, play different angles, and just get kills, because every kill they get, when P4 pops, there's 2 spawns, okay? One spawn is like around there, and the other spawn's like kind of like around there. Obviously, you get different spawns like around this area, but these are like kind of like the main spawns, right? So what you're going to see is every kill New York gets, FaZe will spawn all the way out there on P4, and that's kind of what New York are playing for right now. They're playing for those kills to get the spawns. Let's see what happens. 5 seconds left. Every single kill now is so impactful because you're seeing how far they're spawning out. Look at number 8. Simp spawns all the way out. Hydra spawns all the way out. And every kill that FaZe are getting right now is actually going to their favor because New York are spawning so far out. So if you're New York, you need to keep this pressure here. That's where they went wrong. They had to keep that pressure there on the P3, and FaZe just did a really good job of getting those kills. Very important stuff here. Number 3, Simp again going to put map control, and you're seeing they're just getting so aggressive. They're using their map control. Bro, Hydra just went crazy. How did he even do that? How the hell did he even do that? That was crazy. Let's back away, and I want to see how Hydra did that. When you're playing as an SMG or anything, you want to camera your opponents. This is just a really good example. He doesn't walk around the corner. He jumps around, which is obviously what you want to do, but the way he wins his gunfight and Celium was insane. He's literally mid-stun, and he just fries him. He gets the comm from number 7, that Sibs behind him, turns around immediately and side cancels him. And it just plays like that. Like, he gets a 2-piece there. Look at the minimap. I want you to look where Celium spawns now. Celium spawns all the way there, and Sibs spawns with him. Okay? So I know I thought the spawns were around there, but right now you're seeing they're actually spawning around there. I think it just depends where the enemies are, but these are the kind of spawn points. It's around there, and then the other team spawns around there, okay? So as we're going through right now, that 2-piece that Hydra just got has literally spawned FaZe all the way out. So now they're 4v2. So they have to push through, they have to break it. It all comes down to the trades. And New York just do a really good job of opening up the bloods there, and that was all down to Hydra. The man's 13-6, and this is why he's so impactful. It's not just about the kills he gets, it's about those 2 pieces, those 3 pieces. He just gets kills when the team needs him the most. And this was really good stuff from him. Holding the hill, again, he's got those angles with him. Great drop shot, there's 1, there's 2. Excellent stuff from New York, man. This is a great hold. 20 seconds left. Simp. I know he's 5 and 10, but right now he's doing a really good job of playing those spawns, going around there, and this is going to be a big battle. Number 4 and number 3, I'm looking at the minimap right now. You can see the 2 people from FaZe are going for Sib. So what's Sib's role here? Let's talk about it. What's Sib's role in this specific scenario? There's a couple of people from FaZe that are rotating, okay? A couple of people from FaZe rotating, and then you got like maybe 1 or 2 kind of fighting the scrap, something like that, okay? Then you have New Yorker in a scenario like this, where they've got like 1 rotating through, then they have Sib. Sib is the main man here. Because he's early, there's one key role for Sib. He needs to play his life and distract FaZe. Now, let me explain in detail why this is important. If Sib can get to hair, right? Let's just say he gets to hair, and FaZe are looking for him, okay? What happens is now, this opens up middle map. So number 3 and number 4, they have time to go through middle, okay? While this is happening, they can reinforce Sib. But let's just say Sib dies straight away, because this happens a lot. Let's just say the player here dies straight away, okay? And as he dies, these players are rotating. What happens now is he spawns out there, okay? But now if we look at the map control, it's completely shifted, because number 1 can hold middle, number 3 can hold the head glitch, number 4 can go to the hill. So what's happened now is by Sib dying, okay, so Sib should be around there, but because he's not there, because he's dead and he's over there, you lose so much map control. And now, this is where teams can get you in a trap. Because now, to break the hill, you have to go past their head glitches. You have to go into their setup and work as a team. But with trophies and equipment, this is a hard kind of hill to break if they have the setup. So that's why that player there, Sib, is so important. Because if he plays his life and he distracts number 4, he distracts number 3, even for like 5-6 seconds, he allows number 4, he allows number 3 to make a break. And that's why you have to play your life in those scenarios. Let's see what happens there. So he goes through. And you can see he's playing his life okay. He's behind 1. This gunfight's everything. Number 8 beat number 4 is everything. Let's look at the kill feed, and he wins it. So even just winning that gunfight and selling him, I want you to look at the 3 arrow now. I want you to look at number 3. You see number 3 is distracted. He gets taken out. He goes through. And just by Sib playing his life there, he did a really good job. Another big kill. Gets aggressive. And look at that. Really good play from Sib. Again, he ends up dying there, but I think he did everything perfectly there. There was a few kind of aggressive plays, but he did everything really well. And although the team have the hill now, he's got the map control. You see Kismet's around the hill. He just opened up that map there. I don't like what Kismet's doing. I think right there was a bit risky. I think he probably could have died there. And again, just about playing as a team a little bit more. It's really easy in hindsight to say that because I'm watching the game back. I know in fast motion it's a lot harder, but I think it was a bit risky, and his team just did a really good job watching over him. But this is something Skies does really well, is that people don't really talk about. It's just Skies is fundamental in his positioning. Every time I watch him, I feel like he's always on point. He's such a good player for them in those positions. Like right now, that's such a good spot for an AR. You want to be watching over your sub from those angles, and he's just doing it really well. First rotation, I have to say, this is one of the cleanest hard points I've seen. Probably one of the hardest hard points from FaZe in terms of their perspective, because they're really good at this map. So New York doing a phenomenal job right now. They're going through. Kismet, he knows that number 6 Skies can watch his right, so now he just has to watch the middle. Goes through. Hydra gets picked apart, and this is where again it gets a little bit scary for New York. They're 3v4 on the hill. There you go. As soon as Kismet dies, this looks like where FaZe can get back in the game here. If I'm guessing right now, if FaZe can get back in the game, it's right here. Because this hill is so hard to break right now. Especially with this setup you got now. Especially with this setup, right, where FaZe have got the hill. If you're New York and you're spawning here, right, honestly, this is so hard to break. If FaZe are just watching the angles, let's say they got someone like this. They got someone on the bridge. They got someone there. They got somebody sitting middle. Like, this is so hard to break if you're New York. You kind of have to send someone on a route. And that's what Hydra's been doing really well. He's been taking those long routes. Because what happens if Hydra takes a long route like this, right? And even if he kills number 1, then this number 2 gets distracted. It then becomes easier for the blue team to break the hill. So it's all about just taking those routes. Sometimes people get so kind of panicky. Like right now, the worst thing to do is to force stack here. Especially with friendly fire and stuff like that. You don't really want to force that because you're not going to be able to shoot enough bullets as a team to get the kills. There's too many chances for grenades to hit you. It's just not ideal. You're basically going into their funnel. They're pre-aiming you where you have to look at multiple angles. So what you want to do is take your time and you really just want to get that first kill. If you can get that first kill, okay, if you get that first kill while he spawns out, you now have about a 6-second gap, actually about like a 7-8 second gap by the time he spawns up and helps, to collapse on the hill and use your numbers, because it's going to be a trade battle. You don't need to have a 4 down and have all your team alive. No, this is why trading is so important. You get the first kill, you then push through. Let's say he kills him, he spawns out, but then he kills him, he spawns out, he kills him. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, everyone trades. at the end of the fight, as long as you have one player left in the hill and everyone else is dead, you're fine because you have that map control. And now again, it's just about a battle of map control and getting through again another layer. It's all about those layers and those team fights, and that's something FaZe does really well. Even when they're down in numbers, they somehow make it work. So right now you see Skies gets one, Sib gets one, and this is where they can start to break because they got that map control. But number 8, Sib makes the play, he goes for the spawn kill, he flips it. Really unfortunate from Hydra there, but again the trades are just going really well from both sides, all about that map control, and FaZe end up winning it. So FaZe win the map control there, they get the clean 4 down just like I spoke about, and now they're going to push through, they're going to hold those angles. Right now, if you're in New York, this hill is so hard to break. So what do you want to do? You just don't want to get a trap. You want to get some map control, right? Because for P2, you don't want to be trapped here again. I don't mind the cruise missile. Like I said, in this scenario, you don't want to lose map control. But the problem you have now is, if you're going to use a cruise, again, it's one of those things in hindsight, but you don't want your team to be pushed out too far where they can die. You want them to be in scenarios where they can collapse. And right now, you're seeing 2 of their members dead. This is probably going to be a wasteful cruise right now. Now that's 3 down. Whatever happens in this cruise, honestly, isn't going to be like too effective, because now you see FaZe are basically 3v2 regardless. So that cruise was kind of wasteful, not really because of Skies' cruise itself, it's more because his team died, and that's why it's so important to use your cruise effectively. So they wasted the cruise because no one got any progress, they ended up dying again, and right there was a perfect example of using your streaks effectively and making sure when you do that, your team are set up in positions where they can use their life, and right there it just didn't work out for them. Going through, see what they can do here. Whenever I'm in a spot where I'm Sib, I don't mind this spot because you're kind of just watching over, but it's never going to work out. Like, even just running in here, I feel like he's going to die there. Okay, he didn't die, but I always get scared to do that when I'm playing because I feel like it's so easy for them to kill me. And again, this is what you're seeing FaZe. They're doing such a... Well, how the hell did Sib get a 2-piece? That was so bad from FaZe, I ain't going to lie. Even Skies are just throwing his life. There's a lot of, like, lives getting thrown right now, and you're just seeing FaZe are just winning these team fights. Unless, like, right there, like, Kismet gets such a clutch too, and these are things, again, we don't see on the scoreboard. Like, Kismet should not have won that fight there. He gets a big 2, but FaZe win it back. And yeah, overall, I think both teams are doing a good job, but I don't know what it is right now. It just seems like there's a lot of trolling going on as well. But let's see what happens in this 30 seconds. Setup wise for FaZe, again, not bad. I want you to take a look at number 6, because this is a route I spoke about earlier. When number 6 is going, is so impactful because he can always flank the guy middle, and you're seeing that right now. He flanks the guy middle and he just causes some chaos in the setup now. Yeah, he does end up probably getting traded there, but just to break that mid-map setup, I think you have to take a route through the left. Hydra, again, so hard to play against in that area. Number 6 identifies the rotation. Oh my god, Abizi, that was insane. It's just standard stuff right now. It's standard stuff, but it's just the execution at that fast rate. Again, FaZe on the rotation now. They have the same setup as earlier, but this time from the other way. New York had this setup last time. Sib ends up falling off the map. That is going to cost them. Now they're 3v4. Sib gets the first kill, and they're going to collapse on in. They're going to collapse on in, and Celium gets a 2-piece. No way he gets a 3rd, right? There you go. So again, just scenarios like this where, like, I feel like FaZe, you know, gets that death from Sib, but there's been times where they'll win that 3v4, and it's just those clutch plays that just make them so hard to play against. But let's see what happens here. New York go through. I think Sim dying there was really devastating for FaZe, because they could have had a good 4 down there. Skies on the pinch as well. It's just back and forward. It's a really good kind of hardpoint map. I think honestly it just comes down to these clutch gunfights. If you look at the scoreboard as well, it's very even in terms of the slaying. No one's really taken over. It's just one of those where it's just some team fights going either way, man. There's nothing really crazy that's happened. It's just really good Call of Duty from both sides. At the same time, there's some sloppiness, but overall, I think this is actually a really good battle. I'm watching the mini-map here. So FaZe of the rotation. This is what we kind of spoke about earlier as well, right? On this P4, like, it's so good to have the rotation, but what you don't want to do is you don't want to give up this side. Like, if you give up this left side here, this P3 side, what happens is you're just opening yourself up for spawns, because if you die, you spawn around there. So right now, like, although FaZe have the hill again, they're in a scenario where, like, they're kind of watching it from the back. They're kind of watching the left side because New York have P3. So if I'm New York right now and I've got, like, you know, like a 60-second lead, I'm not panicking right now. You want to be in this dotted area. This is such a danger zone, because every kill you get now, you're literally going to spawn FaZe all the way there. Where if you kill New York, you're not really you're probably spawning them over there, or to be honest, you might even, yeah. So it's not really that big of a deal. But with FaZe, every death they get, they're spawning so far out that you're just giving yourself more opportunities to break the hill. Let's see what happens. So you're seeing exactly what I spoke about, them spawning bridge, Draza goes through, and again, he's just in his cuts, and these gunfights are so crucial because every single time they spawn up, look at number 2, Abizi spawns out. So they just have to win the team fights. Number 5, he cuts him up again. I love that play from Hydra there. Let's watch what Hydra does here. That was such a good play from Hydra. Bro, can it stop forwarding it by 4 hours? Okay, let's watch it from here. It keeps doing that. It keeps rewinding so much. Yeah, right now, if you look at the minimap, okay, you're going to see number 2 goes through. So Skies kills Abizi mid-map, okay? This is how good kind of the spawn knowledge is and just overall the play from Hydra. I want you to look at Hydra right now. They kill Abizi. He's going to go through. He's going to kill number 3. So Hydra kills Simp, okay? During this time, they know that Abizi is going to spawn kind of deep P2. So Abizi's obviously going to be running into the action, right? Because he's trying to help his team in the rotation. They're kind of in a 2v2 right now. But Hydra's going to go through, cut the spawn. You see Abizi doesn't really expect it. And now, Kismet wins one as well. So now you're leaving Draza by himself. And during this time, because Hydra's pushed up, this is the player you want pushed up. Hydra now, his only responsibility is to get Simp, Abizi, and Celium, because they're going to spawn up, right? He's not worried about Draza. His team are in a 3v1. So let's watch the minimap together here. He's going through. You see he's cutting the lane. As soon as they kill Draza, he pushes through now, and he's going to watch for number 3. I really think Hydra could have just stayed where he was. I don't think he needed to go back there. I think he should have left his team in charge of Draza, and he should have been on that head glitch already. A little bit of a misplay potentially from Hydra, but overall the concept still stays the same. When you're in that scenario, you want to kind of leave your teammates to get the guy on the hill, and you want to be playing for spawners. So I think if Hydra gets a kill there, it's so impactful. It just pushes the map even further, and they'll get even bigger of a lead. So good play from Hydra initially. I think a little bit of a misplay backing off there, but hey, this guy's better than me, so I can't tell him what to do. But overall, really good play from New York to kind of get that hill. But we're in a scenario now where, again, FaZe, I think, you know, probably could have done better there, but it's just, yeah, New York playing really well. It's just a weird game so far. I'm not going to lie to you. It's just a weird game so far. Looking at the minimap again, look how kind of deep they're spawning. Number 6 taking the route. The reason I keep mentioning these routes because it's so important. Number 3 v number 6 is everything right now. Simp is looking for him. He goes through. I'm looking at the minimap, and Simp wins it. So this is what I spoke about earlier, right? Where if Simp wins his gunfight, look how much map control they get now. Now they're going to push through, and you can see the difference. Now they're going to go through. They're going to hold through different angles. He's going to hold through middle. One's watching the far left, and they're just setting up for the pinch. So that all happens because of Simp's kill. So let's back away and show you where everything went wrong for New York for this hill. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I'm trying to not go back that far. Sorry about this. Okay, let's do it from here. So right now, the rotational kill is so important. If we look at the minimap, we can see number 3, which is Simp, go up against number 6, which is Skies, okay? Even though New York get 2 kills right now, this next kill is so important. Simp getting that kill, they now know, okay, whatever happens now, every member of New York is going to be spawning around P4, P3, okay? So now what FaZe's job is for the next 10 seconds is to set up for P5. So they're going to push through, get into different scenarios and different angles. Right now, you want to play different off angles, and what you're trying to do is funnel New York through the route, through the long route, which is exactly what they're doing. So you see Abizi's got the whole middle cross. You see number 3, Simp, is watching the bridge, and Draza's helping him. Right now, number 4, Celium, is taking the long route to watch the flank, and number 1's picking up middle. If we just pause this, I want you to look at the minimap right now. This is, I would say, a perfect kind of hold. They have every single angle, they have everyone pushed up, and every kill they get now is going to spawn them even further. So that's one kill, okay? Although Hydra does die, sorry, Abizi does die, Celium and Draza are getting those trades. I want you to look at the minimap. Look how close Abizi spawns. Abizi basically spawns back on the hill, right? But the 2 people they killed, Kismet and Hydra, they spawn on the other side of the map. So in this scenario, when your team is holding the hills, you want to push up a bit far across the map. You want to get map pressure. Every kill you get, you're going to spawn them further away. And every kill that they get, you're still going to spawn close to the hill. So you might as well push up, get map control, and get those kills just to make your setup a bit easier. And now you're seeing, again, they have another wave. So just by getting those opening 2 kills, they've guaranteed the first 10 seconds. And for FaZe to hold this hill now, they've got such a good setup. New York have to be almost perfect to break it. So just making sure you're getting those map pressure, getting those kills. Draza goes through, a little bit of a troll there, probably didn't have a trophy. And again, I just feel like they could have done so much better in that setup there. So I have to say New York's break has been so good this game. So good. Like the fact that Sib just got a 4-piece there was insane. Insane teamwork out of FaZe there. Sorry, out of New York there. I mean, you just get this guy shooting, man. I think Sib is so talented, man. I think people are hating on him a lot, man, but I really like New York still. I think they're dynamic of a team. I really think they could be a threat come champs, man. I think they're just one of those teams where Sib has had to probably adapt his playstyle. He's never played with a team this kind of good as a trio of Skies, Kiz, and Hydra. Especially the SMG duo is insane. So it's kind of one of those where I think as a team they're going to adapt, and I really think they can make a run, man. I really think they can make a run. I know people kind of writing them off already, and it's like the top 3, but I think these guys are incredible. I'm not gonna lie. There's something about them, man. There's something about this team. I feel like when it clicks, it's going to be really hard for the other teams. But I mean, we can say that about any of the top 4. But right now, you can see they're holding a really good angle, and just like I spoke about, it doesn't matter what side you're on, right? Whether you're on the left or the right, holding this angle, like on P1, as long as you're pushing them through a choke point, it's so hard for them to do anything. And you see right now, it's perfect. They go through, they get another one, he pushes him out. Don't really know why Kismet did that, but it's all good. Holds the middle, and that was just an excellent break there from FaZe. Let me kind of show you how they broke that. Although the score, the game's almost over, the way they broke that I thought was really, really good. So let's go forward a little bit. Okay, so we want to go to the next hill, actually. We want to go to the next hill. I definitely need to make it easier for the next one to pause it and stuff. Sorry about that. It keeps on... Anyways, let's go through. So right now, we're going to see how Atlanta FaZe break this P1. If you're looking at the score, looking at the minimap, this game should be over from this hill. You see FaZe are funneling through this middle alley. You don't really want to funnel through here because there's so many angles from New York to watch it. The one good thing is you have so much equipment, right? They only have 2 trophies, so FaZe can definitely break the hill here, but I just think New York are in a better scenario. So you see they're holding the different angles, really good play. There's 2 down, so when you're watching this, you probably think this is over here, but I really like the way FaZe break this. They play it patiently, and it all starts with that kill on Hydra. As soon as Simp kills Hydra right now, the middle map has opened up, okay? So the 3 members from New York, they had so much pressure on this kind of bridge here. But as soon as middle map opens up, you see number 8 start to turn his arrow. So what happens is once you get that original kill, the whole map pressure shifts because there's no longer pressure on your team. So Simp right now, all he has to do is play his timing, wait for his team to push through, and you can see now this is the perfect time. Again, they don't really see the tac maps like we do, but if we're looking like this, it's not a coincidence that as soon as Hydra dies middle, the rest of FaZe get that first kill. It's because there's less pressure on them to get the kill because more people are looking at middle. And now there's 2 down. Kismet is now watching middle. So what does that mean? It means Sib is by himself. So you can see just from Simp opening up that blood, it opened up the whole map. They go through now. Kismet's by himself. It's a 4v1 and they break the hill. So just to learn from that kind of play, I know the game's basically over regardless, but whenever you're trying to break a hill, you don't want to just push in and flood in. No, you want to take your time. You want to get the first kill, whether that's through middle map or on the hill. And then once you're 4v3, you want to collapse through different angles, right? Because there's only so many angles they can watch as 3 people. When there's 4, it's a bit easier. When there's 3, it's a lot easier to break the hill. You want to go in together and break it. And that's what FaZe did really, really well in this example. They were able to get the 4-piece, even though they probably should have lost the game right there. So good stuff from Atlanta FaZe. But going through, at this point, it's a little bit too late. I think they definitely could have won this game. I think there's just a few kind of trolls from FaZe, a few amount of setups. It's just one of those, man. But I have to say, New York, again, played it really well. Just a really good battle from both teams here. Let's see how this kind of ends out. I don't really know what happens there. Goes through, goes into the P2, and you can see number 5's already set up. He's kind of sitting down. There's no map control middle, though. That is something they have to be careful of. Great play from Hydra to kind of cut the lane. Should be able to take out Celium here. Oh my god, Celium's so hard to play. It's even watching it through tac maps. That guy is insane. But yeah, goes through. This should be game right here. 247. If he gets that kill, yeah, that should be over. And there you go. That is map 1. Sky is very, very happy there. But overall, I think that's a really good map from both sides. Definitely a little bit of trolling as well, I have to say. It was just a weird scenario. But looking at the scoreboard, I think it was a really good performance from kind of everyone on New York, man. If you're looking at that, that's actually really, really positive. But then if you're looking at the side of Atlanta FaZe, they went negative. They went a negative like 14, right? And they kept the game close. So I actually think looking at this is positive from both sides. The biggest positive from New York, I would say, is Sib getting the most damage in the lobby. He's kind of struggled in the past against his team. And another thing, really important, Kismet getting 2.5 minutes on the hill and getting 30 kills is kind of something we saw last year in Modern Warfare 2. It's something that's really hard to do, but he was doing it almost every game last year, and that's when, you know, he was at his best. So it's just one of those where I think if this team wants to succeed, they're going to need Kismet to kind of get back on his bullshit like he was last year. And I think Sib as well will be able to play better, because I think Kismet's been struggling a lot this year. But I still think I've got faith in him as a player. I think Hydra's been, that guy's been insane all year long. Skyzer's had his moments as well. I think he's been probably the most consistent player with Hydra, but this series he kind of struggled with overall series, but not bad. And in terms of Atlanta FaZe, looking at this game, the fact that they went -14 and they lost by 40 points, I don't think it's a bad thing at all. I think it's just one of those. How often do you see a BZ go negative? Not really often. That guy's insane. 10 seconds on Hill and negative. It's just one of those performances that he probably just didn't play his best in, which is all good, man. It's all good. It happens. But hey, YouTube, you guys know the drill. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed the breakdown, and I'll catch you guys for another video later on today. Peace.